This is a Nintendo Switch 2, and if you bought one, I hope you had a good 6 months with it, because it's already old news, because this is the Asus ROG Xbox Ally Extreme Awesome Cool Sick Mega new console from Asus and Xbox. A lot of people, when this thing was revealed, said that it was going to be the Nintendo Switch 2 killer, and well, no. Mostly because I think a lot of people in my audience are finding out about this thing right now for the first time, but also because it's $600. So it's already more expensive than the Switch. I will say that I do really like what it can do. It's very powerful and it's handled everything I've thrown at it with absolute ease. But that's because I have this black model, which is actually $1,000. Yeah, it better be good. Let's talk about it. I might seem like I'm on edge a little bit. And yeah, one part of that could be that I have a 5-month-old son, and I'm trying to find time to make videos these days at like midnight when he's finally asleep. So maybe I'm just going a little cuckoo bananas, and anything I made right now would be slightly unhinged. Or maybe it's the fact that I have so many of these handheld consoles that at this point I have a tub, and the tub is actually getting pretty full to the point where when I put this one in a tub, I might need a second tub. I also am aware that's a very must be nice problem, and I do want to take this moment to give a special shout out to Asus, who sent over this model for me to check out today. When it comes to this handheld game, it's just because I can't keep up. Nobody can. It really wasn't that long ago that we took a look at the ROG Ally X, a device that was extremely powerful, that handled pretty much any game that I threw at it, and that was open to Windows. So you could do Steam, you could do Epic Store, you could of course get Game Pass, you could do it all. You could even emulate Switch if you wanted, but don't tell Nintendo I told you that. They've been mad at me for years, and I don't want to make it worse. Sorry, I don't know what that was, but it's probably not making the video any less weird. Quickly, let's do something normal. Like talk about the sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark VPN is a VPN provider service. What's a VPN, you're asking? Well, it's a virtual private network. The reason why you need something like that is because while you're browsing online, it's not private. Everyone can see everything. Your internet service provider knows exactly what you're doing. When you go to use public Wi-Fi on your laptop in a Starbucks, the hacker that's sitting next to you getting all your bank details can also see what you've been Googling, and I know that it's this. Ooh. So a VPN like Surfshark VPN does a great job at encasing all of your data in an encrypted tunnel that hackers or internet service providers can't see into. And don't ask me why I care so much about people not seeing what I'm Googling. Ew. So sure, a VPN is great at protecting internet security and privacy and making sure that no one gets your credit card and bank information, but there's also some fun things you can do with it. Any blocked or restricted YouTube videos you want to watch that aren't available in your country, or any content on Netflix that's only available in Japan or Australia or even here in the United States. It doesn't matter where you are, just pretend that you're there. It actually is the #1 reason why most people use a VPN. Even if the security and privacy is just a happy side effect. Surfshark has over 3,000 servers in over 100 different locations. It has 24-hour customer support 7 days a week. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. One Surfshark account can be used across all of your devices. The app even has inbuilt services like an antivirus, so you can knock that out at the same time. So why don't you click the link in the description and go to surfshark.com/beatemups, or use code beatemups to get yourself 4 months free. And now, speaking of 4 months, feels like it's been 4 months since I've had this thing. Should probably go back to the video. So when I heard they were doing an Xbox themed one, where the difference was it has a little Xbox button and it's also locked to Xbox, I thought, but why? And it's not just Asus that's releasing a new model every 6 months to a year. It's obviously Lenovo and it's Aya Neo, which are probably the worst ones for it. And then also just throw in the Steam Deck on top of it all. There's too many choices, there's too many options, and every time one of these come out, I say, yeah, I guess technically it's worth its price, even the high price tag, because you have a really powerful handheld PC at your fingertips. So why wouldn't it be worth it on paper? But it makes it hard to recommend this this at $1,000 when I know that in a couple months, Lenovo or MSI will release a handheld that then beats this. But then don't worry, because 3 months after that, the Xbox ROG Ally X Pro will come out for $1,200. That'll be awesome for another few months before something else happens. I don't really know how anybody is supposed to pick or get into this marketplace of handheld PCs, and I think the exuberant amount of choice is what is so overwhelming and detrimental to the handheld PC space that ends up bringing people just over to the Switch 2. It just makes it so much more of a clear-cut, easy choice to just go with the tried and true Nintendo, and you'll just get a steady release of awesome games. I mean, as we sit here right now, in the next 3 months, we're gonna get Pokemon and then Zelda and then Metroid back to back to back. I mean, yeah, each of the games cost $1 million now, but variable pricing. You heard Doug Bowser. That was a big rant. And once again, I would like to thank Asus for sending me the ROG Ally. And I apologize for my frustrations. I want to take you back to when I opened this thing for the first time. You know what's playing in my head right now? The Squidward meme of, oh no, he's hot! So after spending about a week with this thing now, I've really come to love the form factor. Again, it has a built-in Satisfy grip. I mean, look, you don't even gotta buy my product. Now this was fully charged earlier today, but I think I was downloading a couple of games in the background, and I guess that in itself drained the battery because now it just will not turn on. This Xbox button that comes on it has really grown on me, but I have been playing a lot on it, and as I said, I've been very impressed. Almost everything I've tried has been 60 FPS, full 1080p. I want to say that for this test, I wanted to utilize Game Pass because you're already dropping $1,000 on this thing. I believe that it comes with a couple of months of Game Pass for free. Now, I love Xbox. I'll get a bit of a shot here of my Xbox games. I have all my original 360 games. I have my Xbox One collection. Back in the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era, I was an Xbox kid. I was like, PlayStation, Sony ponies, ugh. It broke my heart the more the years went on with Xbox and their pretty awful business practices. More than anything, just moving away from software development, moving away from making great games. I was really excited when Phil Spencer announced that they had bought up like 13 game studios. They just haven't, like, games just didn't come out. I don't know what happened. Games didn't come out. Things are getting canceled left, right, and center. You had Perfect Dark got canceled recently. We still don't know what's happening with Fable. They bought Bethesda, so we managed to get Starfield out of them, and then that sucked. So I'm just on such a Xbox tangent right now. And then they've jumped the price up to the Game Pass to $30 now. It's $30 now because Xbox just keeps nut punching us. I used to love Phil. Now every time I see him pop up in an event, I'm like, oh, what are you taking from me now? So anyway, I was looking at Game Pass and I downloaded a few things. I wanted to try some first-person shooters, and I recently got High on Life. I thought that would be a great one. It's on Game Pass, so I downloaded that here, and sure enough, it's still 1080p. But I gotta be honest, visually, between the Switch 2 and this, there's no real difference. I mean, there might be a little bit more clarity and density from the ROG Xbox Ally. I still don't know why they didn't call it the ROG Ally Xbox. There's one too many X's story in my life. Am I right, fellas? This might be the worst video I've ever made. I don't know what is wrong with me. I'm falling apart at the seams. The console's $1,000. Is it running this game better than this for $500? Yeah. Did I need to spend $500 for those 30 frames? No. I would like to see how the white model, which is only $600, would run a game like High on Life or run things in general. I do like that the white model, at least, is $50 less than the Xbox Series X is. You could get the console portably and have access to the entire Xbox Marketplace and Game Pass portably on the go for less than buying the actual whole console for your house and your TV. That is actually really cool. I would like to know how that sucker stacks up next to the Switch 2 and this thing. But again, I can't tell you about that, so who knows. I do appreciate that I was sent the cool one because now I get the cool one and I like the cool one. Let me see if I can turn this on now. New title of the video, The Switch 2 Killer Killed Itself in... while I was recording. I want to talk about the UI in this thing, because just like when we looked at the Lenovo Legion Go S, which was locked to Steam, this, when you get your model, it should be locked to the Xbox UI. So you'll load it up, you'll get the Xbox UI, you can hold down this little Xbox button here, which it brings up all of your tabs, and you can just switch between them. You can also just press this button and it will bring up all of the information on the console, and you can do things like up the... Man, I wish I could turn it on and actually show you and talk about it in real time. That'd be cool, huh? You can also do things like bring up an FPS limit or like switch what controller input you're using. All kinds of fun stuff. I'd love to show you. I'm gonna keep pressing the button until this thing turns on, and maybe I will get to. You still can switch to desktop mode. I haven't messed around with that too much, but it loads Windows back up, and I assume that you can just still play around with this. So it's not super hard locked to Xbox. It just pushes you towards it. So I also downloaded from Game Pass some EA and Ubisoft games, but you still have to download their launchers. It's a mess. And EA's was fine. I downloaded Star Wars Jedi Survivor because I wanted to try out a third-person action game, and man, this thing was chewing through it. Looked fantastic. The neon lights of the opening city were just blooming off my screen, but I could not get the Ubisoft launcher to launch any Ubisoft game, and I just can't get those to play. I tried going into Windows mode and booting them up. I just cannot get those suckers to launch. I downloaded Starfield to check that out. I didn't play too much of it, but again, it looked great. It would be a perfectly fantastic way to experience the game for the first time or in general. I also loaded up a couple games of Halo Infinite matchmaking, and I did the best on my team, and it looked and played fantastic again. I really did. I didn't feel inhibited by playing that game portably. I even tried, still can't get this to turn on. I even tried some cloud streaming on this guy. I loaded up Sea of Thieves, and I was very impressed. Just over Wi-Fi in my house. I had a little bit of stuttering one time where it lagged out for a second, but other than that, it looked pretty incredible, and it was running really well. I mean, cloud streaming via Xbox and the xCloud is just about as good as cloud streaming games can get. I'm just gonna hold the button down for like a really long time. Now I'll turn it on. Oh, okay. I think something happened. I think it just needed like a hard reset. I mean, tech, am I right? I did have to do a whole system reboot thing to get the battery to display correctly on the Switch too. So I guess we really shouldn't be throwing stones in glass houses. I also checked out Like a Dragon because I just wanted to find something that was third person, and I was having a hard time. And it looked and ran fantastic. It actually made me want to dive back into my save. And then last night I downloaded Ninja Gaiden 2. Again, it just chewed through it. There's not a better word for it. This system truly was just chewing through absolutely anything I threw at it. For ladies and gentlemen of the jury that think I'm lying, we have Assassin's Creed Mirage here. I'm gonna hit play on this sucker. Wait, did it just need that reset? My Games Mirage play. If you play now and you make me a liar, I'm gonna vomit. Nah, it's still not playing. All right, I take it all back. All right, I want to tell you some stuff about the specs of this thing. So this ROG Ally X is the 24GB of RAM model with 1TB of storage. The ROG Xbox Ally White one is half of all of that. It's 16GB of RAM and 512GB of storage. The Xbox full screen experience is what they call the inbuilt UI. They also tote cloud saves. So if you do have an Xbox or you do game on your PC, Xbox Game Pass, the cloud saves will transfer between all of it. So specifically here in this model, there is an AMD Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme processor. Now I asked Bob if that means that this thing is faster than other stuff we've looked at, like the Lenovo Legion Go S, and he said everything else has the AMD Z1 Extreme chip in it. This is the AMD Z2 Extreme chip, and they claim that gives it a 30% performance boost. I mean, it's probably the nicest and best experience I've had playing one of these handhelds portably, so I'm inclined to believe it. The display is a 7-inch FHD 1080p IPS 500 nits 16:9 120Hz refresh rate AMD FreeSync Premium. Also a Corning Gorilla Glass Victus. Sick, dude. Fucking awesome. The battery, this is an 80-watt battery, or WH, whatever that means, and not Woodhawker. Be like 80 of me. And then the white model has 60 Woodhawkers. Yeah, you get this, and you get a charger, and you get a stand, and that's what you get when you buy it, okay? And then you can find all that information on the website. I'm not really a tech guy, so you might be wondering why you sent this. And to that, I will say, I don't know. I've been kind of goofy today. I don't know what my problem is beyond being very tired and drained, but if I can summarize this thing for you in a very serious way, this thing is sick. It's the best performing, looking, the sharpness, the clarity, the frames I was getting, the fact that it could handle anything I threw at it. It was the best overall experience from the games, but also the comfort level of just a really great ergonomic design and sleek, awesome aesthetics for the whole console. I really think this is probably at this point the best handheld PC that we've looked at and best alternative we've seen to a Switch. There's not a single thing I can say is wrong with this. Everything about it is so impressive and awesome, other than the price tag. $1,000 is ludicrous. Maybe look into a review of the white model to see if that one performs to your hopes and dreams and expectations, because $600, I think, would actually be really easy to recommend. $50 cheaper than a Series X and a full Xbox console, and you can take it portably. I mean, I'd recommend that all day long. But for $1,000, I would never recommend any of you to spend $1,000, because if you end up regretting it, that's $1,000 you spent because of me, and I would feel terrible about that. Also, for half the price, you get Pokemon, and you get Metroid, and you get Zelda, and you get Donkey Kong, and you get Mario, and you get and. That's what I think. Let me know what you think, and if you've had interest in this, and if you think that this is the end of Switch 2, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, I love you. Bye.